Thank you.
Any other question? Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if there's any clarity by now in terms of what global presence could be expected.
Sanjeev, you.
Look, we are still in conversations. We'll know in a couple of weeks, better clarity, and that's the more appropriate time to make announcements. But yes, there will be global presence.
So speakers from Singapore, speakers from the Near East, I think there we have a lot of confirmations. I think global country pavilions and people coming from across the world, I think we'll have clarity in 2 more weeks.
I think the JSR also did mention the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So there are a lot of countries that are interested. I think because there's a lot of things that we're doing simultaneously. I think in about a week's time, we'll have a specific number.
Am I audible? I'm Shivani from ANI. So I would like to ask you, how can established business collaborate with startups to foster innovation and drive economic growth?
Dipenda, how can established businesses and established startups
Collaborate with innovation and drive economic growth?
I think established businesses need to nurture startups, and I think we don't have that kind of a start funding startups, but not with an intention to finally own them, but purely with an intention to mentoring them and helping them become bigger over time.
Just to give you an example, the company I work for, InfoEdge, we've over the last 15 years invested in over 100 startups, and we continue to invest. It's a big part of our strategy.
Sir, I would also like to ask that how can we ensure diversity and inclusion within the startup ecosystem, particularly in terms of gender representation and accessibility for marginalized communities?
So I'll speak on the gender piece as the solitary gender diverse candidate here. Look, I think there are 2 parts to it. One is women, especially where there is already some privilege. Let's say you have got a good education, you do have exposure, to also step out and take those risks. I think it is harder for a woman to take those risks, but I think it is important to take those risks. That's one. And I think if there are more women who have a seat at the table, I think you tend to not discriminate then, because you don't have any problem, because you understand your own gender definitely much better. But I think it lies on both genders to be a bit gender blind.
Yeah, I just had a little bit, just one point here. I think what's important is to have more women investors, because that's the mindset that has changed. Because if you have, then the peer group and who they interact with and what you get onto the funnel changes.
Though out of context a bit, but if you see, India's not doing bad when it comes to education for women. 29.5% of engineers in our country are women today, which is phenomenal if you compare with countries like Australia and UK, where the representation is 14.5 and 16.9% respectively. I genuinely feel the most important thing that needs to be done today is to foster massive diversity and ensure that boards have representation of women across, not only from the fact that, like example, Zomato is a brilliant story. An employee of Zomato became a co-founder. More of these stories need to be there. And I think in any organization which does not have gender representation, I don't think they have a long lifespan to lead.
He touched upon Zomato. I'm on the board of Zomato. Dipinda, the founder. Dipinda, total board members are how many in Zomato? The total board members 7 hain. How many women? 4. So Zomato is majority women in the board. I think that's a very good example.
Sorry, what is the question on gender diversity?
Startup ecosystem, particularly in gender
No,
representation.
no, I know. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, no, in our family, we have a woman entrepreneur. I think the most important thing, at least I've found in my experience, is the support you have to give to the women entrepreneur. Now, it's within, or it's from the incubators, funders. I mean, I think things are changing in India and they're getting better with some role models getting created. In the fund management industry, people like Archana. So I think these, Anjali Bansal, things will change, but I think we are pretty low on that count is my view. And we need to do a lot more to encourage it, maybe even a little bit consciously and go out of the way. But I think it all starts with the immediate ecosystem of your home, your job. You saw some numbers in the press today as to how minimalistic we are in terms of directors on boards. You saw today in the press. So I think we have a long way to go. So frankly, I'm on the other side. I don't know what the other view was, but my view is that we are pretty low on that, and we need a lot to do.
Hi, my name is Manveena. I represent Biospectrum, which is a biotech-based media platform. So my question would be a little more aligned towards the pharma and the biotech vertical, which is being talked about in the Startup Mahakumbh. So what aspects of, say, technology transfer, IP, patent filing, or regulatory challenge will be discussed during the program for the pharma and biotech in particular?
Yeah, so we have a wide-ranging set of participation there. We have people in the health sector in this pavilion, and we have BIRAC and people who are otherwise more into the deeper science areas. So there will be a mix of programs that will also talk about some of the areas that you're talking about. So, whether it's patent, the patent regime and how startups can participate and take advantage of patents, a lot of those discussions will be there. Okay, thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you all in March 18th, 19th, and 20th. And look forward to all the media support, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, everyone, for taking out time and joining us today. We have now closed the event, but website registration have started. So we look forward to your support in spreading the word and having maximum participation from all relevant startups ecosystem stakeholders in Startup Mahakumbh. Thank you so much. Have a great day.